Okay, we need someone courageous to ask the first question. Always you get, super merit, super, courage merit if you start the session.
I have a question.
Yes, Bettina.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you, Tim, and the things you mentioned in the end about ongoing continued practice after formal meditation was really inspiring to me. And I'm new to Mahamudra, and actually for a while now I'm searching for a way to truly practice in every moment. And so for me, the Satipatthana Sutta points to that, but
Yes.
but I'm confused about it because there are so many possible fields where to put the awareness,
Mm-hmm.
and there are so many possibilities how to do it.
Absolutely.
Like looking at the spaciousness of a certain experience, or the anicca aspect, or just being with what is. So I really have the aim to truly practice in every moment, but I don't quite know how to do it.
Okay.
And I was wondering how would a Mahamudra master instruct me on that.
Well, let's see what Mahamudra masters would say, but I can tell you as a Mahamudra practitioner what I would say. So, Bettina, it seems that you are familiar with Satipatthana, which is cultivating mindfulness awareness in all situations. And in that teaching of the Buddha, he gives 4 fields of where we can cultivate awareness. Yes? The one is with the physical formations, which is actually including normally the basic 5 senses, the outer senses. Then we have the mental sense, the mental formations. We have the mind itself, which includes deeper levels of mind. And you are talking already, you made a good selection, you're talking about what is called investigating dharmas. So you know that the practice of Mahamudra is an application of Satipatthana, investigating the nature of reality. This is the 4th point of Satipatthana. So now you want to know how to practice that in all situations of life, which means that you will probably change your focus following the situation. You will not always maintain the same focus. Generally, you are completely fine. As you said, you can practice with change, impermanence, anicca. Yes? Basically, you could also all the time practice with anatta, with non-self, with no one there, no center to the experience. But you can also sometimes investigate, you can put your awareness into other aspects of the situation. For example, more precisely, someone is challenging you, and you would turn your attention to how is it to feel challenged? How is it to feel a little angry? How is it when anger arises and no one feeds it, no one gets involved with it? Yeah, you do smaller investigations into the nature of the experience. So with the time you will become very familiar with one basic practice to put the awareness where there is the biggest stress. Okay? The Mahamudra always, and like other Buddhist traditions as well, focuses where there is most dukkha, most stress. Where that is the stress, that's where we will go with our awareness. So you will have like inner senses, feeling in the body, in the mind, in the communication, where is the biggest stress, and that's where your awareness will go, wishing to find out the nature of that experience. Okay, now if you're interested in having an extensive explanation about Satipatthana and Mahamudra, in our media library there is a teaching, a one-week teaching which I gave in Slovakia on the 2 points, Satipatthana and Mahamudra. Was it Anapana? Anapanasati and Mahamudra. Yes? It's Anapanasati is the working with the breathing, but it's the same teaching. So there I make many links between the 2 teachings, which seem different to people who are not instructed, but actually they're talking about the same thing. You will find a lot of nourishment in that one-week teaching. You can just download it for yourself. The teaching was given in English, okay, and translated into Slovak. Okay. Thank you for your question, Bettina. Space is open for the next person. Everyone's so happy, so relaxed, no questions. Elizabeth, do you want to ask something?
Ich würde vielleicht was fragen.
Ja, Katharina, gerne.
Sometimes you give as a meditation advice to do non-doing. I say in German it's nichts tun.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I try to do this, then it feels very much also, or it gets more and more like it's the meditation of being aware. And is it the same, or is it simply kind of different? I think it's very similar, but it depends a little bit more on the focus of being fully there and open. And sometimes, to me, it feels very similar, but different angle of going at it.
Yes,
like this?
Yes, Katerina, it's a different angle. It's like you're using a bridge, actually, when you remind yourself of not doing anything, of non-acting, non-meditation, non-manipulation. Actually, it's like a bridge. You take this reminder as a bridge into a more natural way of being aware. And then awareness is there for a while with a very tiny sense of doing anything. Maybe you still have the feeling to maintain a certain awareness, so then you can also relax that. But basically you walk across the bridge of non-doing into that experience of a more open, more natural awareness, and then you stay there. You don't remind yourself again. Okay? So you really got the point. It's absolutely connected. Sorry, I always look down when I look at you in the screen. I should look there, but it's like, thank you for the question, Katharina. Hope to see you again very soon.
Yeah, hope so too. All the best.
All the best. Space is open for another person.
One more little question.
Bettina, go ahead.
I put it in the chat. I was interested if there is a certain translation of this the ocean of true meaning.
Okay. Now, you see what I have in my hands here? The ocean of true meaning. Yeah, Elena, go to my bookshelf and find the English and German version if possible. Yes, there is a German translation by Lama Hendrik. He also did an English translation. Okay, here we have the English one. If you look for the German one, it's a hardcover. So this is for everybody. Can you read it? The English translation. With Bizario, who is translating in Portuguese, we are just publishing the Portuguese translation. Natasha, who is living in our house, is just finishing the Greek translation. And here is the, can you see, the German translation? Yes, the English and the German were done by the same translator. They're both original translations. And the Portuguese was done by myself, together with Lama Gelek and Bizario and some friends. And the Greek was based on 2 transmissions which Natasha received. And I cannot verify the Greek. So here we just have to rely on the Greek proofreaders. Okay, for the French, now everyone wants to know where's the French. There was a preliminary French translation in Le Bos, Lucida, but it never got published. So I don't know where we are with the French. Sorry to say that. Okay, Bettina, you wanted to know for the German probably, huh? You seem to be German speaking.
Yes, right.
Okay.
I'm from Brokum. You didn't see me in the video last week with Ronnie.
Okay, good. Yes, excellent. Good.
Thank you.
Yes, very welcome. Shall we finish here, or does someone want to jump in?
Someone posted a question in Portuguese. May I translate it for you?
Oh, Thelma, please translate it for us.
Okay, good afternoon. How may I straighten the confidence in the Dharma in a way that I keep the will and constancy in the practice? This is from Luciana.
Oh, Luciana. Okay. Thank you very much, Luciana. So I will try to repeat that. And it's the confidence in the practice so that it generates a continuous zeal, a continuous enthusiasm for the practice. Okay. Now, there are many possible ways to answer that. The first thing that comes to my mind, Luciana, is if she is on video, try to find her. Then I can talk directly to Luciana. The most important thing is to go in small steps. Make small steps in practice so that you're actually moving from one rewarding experience to the next. So never give yourself a big task. Give yourself small tasks of developing awareness. And that will generate trust in the Dharma you are practicing and in the experience that is developing thanks to that practice. So with a small step, you deepen the trust in yourself and the trust in the Dharma thanks to the experience that is your own. And then you can make another small step. And like this, with many steps in practice, with many new aspects of practice, your trust will grow, and you will always have that zeal, that enthusiasm to practice, because you don't ask too much of yourself. Many people become discouraged because they hear these big teachings, then they want to do a lot, and somehow they have the feeling they fail because they don't see the little difference it makes. We have to be very careful to see the little differences and to build on them, and not to compare ourselves with ideals and others and so on. So always going with the small little change. Is there any way I could verify with Luciana if that answer corresponds to her question?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, she is writing thank you. Okay, very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you, Thelma.
No worries.
She says, yes, I understood. Okay. Obrigado, Luciana. The last one. Anyone else in the line with a question waiting to be asked?
Ich kann was formulieren.
Malis. Okay, Malis, you will get a microphone.
Oh no, maybe you repeat it.
Okay, there's a question here in the room.
I
Come closer at least, come closer. Then they can...
Yeah, the question. Okay.
You're outside the video now, but the micro is... Oh, now this fell down. But you can continue.
Okay. The question is about Entspannung, relaxation, which we need for the practice, not to give too much effort in it, because then it will not work. And Genin Rinpoche called it flies, diligence. You know, on the one hand, you let go, but don't let go the diligence.
Yes, and you want to resolve that question?
Yes. What does he mean with this?
Actually, is it the same as what the Buddha would call right effort? What is the right effort?
Yes, what is the right effort? That's it, yes.
Okay, so
What
let's
is
talk
the right
about
effort?
that.
Because if you put too much effort, then you don't want to go on anymore.
Too much effort is exhausting.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you and then you push everything out of the window.
Yeah, you're fed up, you throw it out.
Yes.
Everything out the window. Sorry, there will be a noise now, and as I try to put the microphone cap back. Okay, it's done. The question of right effort is as old as the teaching itself. The Buddha compared the right effort to just like the string of a sitar, of a violin, of a guitar. If the string is too loose, it won't make a sound. If the string is too tight, it will break. Then, what is the music that we want to play? The music we want to play is inside. Our awareness needs to be that much present that insight can arise, will arise. So if we allow our awareness to slacken and we become absent-minded, dull, or too involved, too agitated, actually the insight will not be able to arise. We cannot listen to the music of the Dharma. We have, at that time, we have to see where is extra effort, too much effort, and where is maybe too little effort. And then we balance. So in Mahamudra, that's what we follow. The right effort is to allow the mind to be clear, to settle in trust, to open up, to to let our heart open so that we can understand from within. And if we kind of drift off, then we gently bring ourselves back. Now, too much effort in bringing ourselves back will lead to agitation. So we learn to bring ourselves back into natural awareness, simple awareness, with just the little correction that it needs. And that's the learning in right effort. How much impulse is needed to be back into presence, a presence in which there is a knowing of just how it is. So actually what I called correction, the thing is an impulse. Our mind is at that time either a little dull or a little agitated, distracted or a little absent-minded. That is a capacity of our mind, which here in the book is called alertness. Something makes us alert, this capacity makes us alert, this is not the natural clarity. And that impulse we use to come back. And that's the right effort. To allow that impulse to come back, to become alert, and then to become present and mindful and aware, to allow that to happen. Beginners, they overdo it. They are so shocked at being absent-minded that they want to be present now, and they create a tension in mind, and then they will have to create that tension. So when you tell them to count, for example, the breathing, 1, 2, and after 10 they're exhausted, after 100 they're exhausted. Now right effort is just the impulse, always the impulse, for example, to stay present with the experience of breathing in, breathing out. And you will find out that the right effort for you as a person changes. It's not always the same effort that is the right effort. Sometimes we need to make a lot of effort. Then, when I notice that in my own mind, I feel like someone addicted to thinking, for example. Yeah, addicted. This morning I had a little situation. I was thinking about something in the work here in the house, in the building site, and I had already thought about this and I had come to a solution, but my mind was going back to it. So I remember I told myself, you're a little bit addicted to thinking about the working side, like with a smile. And you need to notice that and a little impulse to relax now. Everything is done. So at that moment I was giving a strong impulse because I wanted to cut a chain of involvement. At other times it is so tiny, the impulse needed to find into that relaxed natural presence, which is this impulse, then the right effort is so tiny. It's like, can you make it very big, the wide angle? It's like when you see a big bird flying and there is a good wind, and the bird, actually you can see it standing in space. It is carried by the wind, and tiny movements. Can you see the tiny movements I'm doing? Tiny movements, tiny changes of angles, they will be the necessary corrections. These corrections, they can be so tiny that they go almost unnoticed. And that's the right effort of an experienced Mahamudra practitioner. Mostly the impulses needed to adjust our way of being, to let go of a little grasping which is there, to open again when there was an overemphasis on focus and concentration. All these little corrections, they are so fine that for the meditator, they are felt as being just natural. This right effort feels natural. It's the most natural thing to do. Because it's so true and so fine to be in the open state of mind that the little impulse to come back into that natural fluidity is the natural thing to do if one wants to fly, if one is in the move, if one is in the flow. So it's so natural that the meditator does not notice the impulse anymore after a while. It's like a horseback rider. This is another example of the tradition. The horseback rider who doesn't fall down from the horse, but doesn't have to think about how to sit on the horse. It's all automatic. That's the right effort. It's just automatically moving into the space of non-dukkha, of no stress. In the beginning, you know how much effort it takes to stay on the horse or on the bicycle, how much effort it was and how much help we needed, and you know how often we fell. But later on, no effort needed at all. So this is right effort. It's called non-effort, but actually that is an inner knowing of how it is to stay relaxed and open, fluid, present. Does this help you a little bit?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. She says, yes, thank you. Okay. So, again, let's dedicate this to all sentient beings in the informal way, and let's conclude the evening here. Thank you so much, translators. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elena.